All right, you guys
You
ready?
want some nuts?
I'll take only if they're yours.
They're all mine,
yours?
baby.
I just had some of Axe nuts. They're particularly
Axe nuts are
They're
good.
actually amazing.
All right.
not salty.
Organic,
They're organic.
Organic
Got a
nuts.
nice crunch to them.
Gluten-free, sugar-free,
Yep.
No
salt-free.
salt. No
Free.
salt.
Are they protein-free?
I'm gonna say no.
Are
I
they,
prefer my
do
nuts
they-
with no salt.
Do they
you
have
know?
matter?
Nuts have protein.
Do they have matter?
Always.
That's right. Yes.
They do have matter.
Dark matter.
Dark matter? Okay.
They're in space.
Yeah. I'm good. I'm on the air diet. Oxygen only. I don't eat. All right.
I
ready?
don't eat. That's your diet.
This is our intro, guys.
This
pretty
one,
much
that was
here.
better.
Talking about
We're
nuts.
here. BLAPCHAT. Here we go. Here we go,
Let's go, baby.
Wait. We're here. BLAPCHAT. Yes. Wait for that note. That little one. That little bit.
Yes.
Yo,
It's a special one.
it wouldn't have been as good without that.
No.
Good call,
just added
whoever produced that. Whoever composed that, good call. What's up, guys? Welcome to BLAPCHAT episode 97.
Oh,
I
we're not
think.
doing the
7?
BLAPCHAT? BLAP the thing we
We
do?
already intro.
No, we did it. We did it.
Oh,
They know what the fuck it is.
This is the most fun, though.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right,
Ready?
here we go.
Ready? But we are going to use all of this stuff,
Yeah,
Josh.
yeah, Josh, straight through.
Let's
One
just
take.
do it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yes.
There we
What
go.
else?
There we go.
I feel
We have to
better
do it.
now.
What's popping?
It would be
Feel better.
not proper for us to not do that with all four of us here.
I'm saying. We
So,
have to.
Welcome to BLAPCHAT, episode 97. Man, all four of us are here. This is lit.
It's legendary.
It's lit right now.
Legendary.
3 more episodes to 100.
Oh my
3 more
God.
till 100.
Bruh.
Can't wait.
What are we doing for that? Bruh.
We got to do something cool, but I can't believe that we did, pretty much almost 100 of these.
100.
Wow. First of all, shout to our fans. Shout to all of our subscribers of BLAPCHAT. We're here to talk about music production, music creation. Man, shout to our subscribers. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're on SoundCloud or iTunes, hit that follow button, that repost button, and leave us comments. And if you're new to this, welcome.
Yes.
Welcome to
Hello.
our world here. Air horn again. That air horn is like such a cop
I used to
out.
think the peace sign was so corny, but I like doing it.
It's cool. No.
It depends how you do it, though.
If you do it like
Depends.
this,
You're
it's just
like-
like girl power.
No, if you do it like this, you're from. This is like how Asian people do it.
That's kind of.
If you do it like this, that's weird too.
This is also
it.
Asian people.
But this is
weird.
A-Town.
No, this
At
is-
this point, it's A-Town down.
I like to do it like this. Look. I tap my shoulder. I go, yeah.
I just,
That's different. That's different.
But yo,
That's
love,
original.
bro, love.
That's
I
original.
don't know if I like the
That's
tap.
original. You ever do this?
That's
Yo,
too Pledge of Allegiance
But-
for me.
you ever do
like a Boy Scout. Like, what is he doing? Yeah.
You ever do this though? When
Which
you
one?
when you
Which
see
one?
like the homie, you're like, "Yo, what's up, bro?"
Not since grammar school.
Did they
Maybe
see
like
that?
Yo,
fourth
Probably
grade.
what's good,
Maybe
bro?
we did that.
What's good?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Oh man.
That made me
Hell,
feel
you're
really
so
weird to
stupid.
watch.
What's good, bro?
Imagine homeboys with
Don't
his
do that to
girlfriend.
any
and you're like,
guy.
yo, what up,
Yeah.
kid?
Any guy.
that's a no guy.
We're,
No, but for
no.
real, did you?
we're gonna lose
It's like-
subscribers. We're about to lose
Oh,
subscribers.
man.
Anyway,
Good times.
guys,
Well, that's
listen.
cool.
Welcome. Was it 97, Josh? Episode 97. It's good to be back here, all four of us.
It's good to
here.
be
We
Blap
really miss
here.
you guys. Good to be
Oh.
Blap.
See what you did there.
Bazinga.
Blap.
Did that.
Yeah, man, it's been a pretty good year so far. We're in fucking almost
March.
April already.
Yeah.
Isn't
Wow.
that crazy?
Yeah.
I tweeted that. Like, how the fuck are we at the end of
First
another
quarter.
month?
First
Shit,
quarter.
life.
First
Life.
quarter.
I will say that music releases first quarter have been a little dry.
Yeah.
You guys agree?
I agree.
Anything that you guys fuck with that has dropped in the
Oh,
last few months? Like,
Solange.
Yeah, we were
Solange,
talking
shout to
about
Solange.
that.
album
Yeah.
is really awesome.
yeah.
I really like that album.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say about that one.
Yeah, see, I feel like with the Solange album, it's like a love-hate thing. Like, you either really love
Yeah,
it or
yeah,
you're like,
it's-
oh, it's not for me.
Yeah, it's either like, oh, it's not, or it's like, it's for you, and it's for me.
Yeah. See, there you go. But shout to Solange. Shout to all the producers and
Hell
everyone involved
yeah.
with that project, too. You guys, any projects this year that you guys, like, liked or not really, not worth it?
So much music.
It's like
comes
it's so
out.
much you can't
Yeah,
even like
it's a
be
lot.
like, oh, I
Remember.
didn't like that, or I
It's a
didn't
lot.
like
No,
that.
I don't
yeah.
even remember. Like, let's go down a list.
Yeah, I would have
Who
to hear
dropped?
names.
Yeah, true.
Who dropped
What within the past few months, or even like within like last year?
the past few months?
Few
like,
months,
the
first
top
quarter.
of it.
First quarter.
Because when
First quarter.
did Meek's album come out?
That was
When
last year.
Champions
Last
come
year.
out? Oh, okay.
No,
So he don't
last
count
year.
for the conversation.
No.
Nah.
No.
I
that's
can't.
it.
I don't think anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
else
2
is
Chainz came out.
I'm gonna say 2 Chainz. I haven't listened to it yet, but
Me
I'm
either.
like a.
Schoolboy just.
He got
just
some hard
dropped.
shit on
I
there.
haven't
I'm
heard it.
a
Got some
hard avid. What was we just talking about? Shit, we're just talking about. You just brought him up. His
2
first
Chainz?
album. Yeah, I'm an adamant 2 Chainz fan.
Yeah.
I love 2 Chainz.
I skimmed through it, but I haven't really like sat down and
Gotta
kind
sit
of
there with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I haven't sat with it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. A lot is happening in the production world, I think. A lot of really good. I don't know. I feel like since what are we in 2019? Damn, I don't even know. Since 2019,
I've been saying 2018 for
Yeah.
like. For the,
I still write 2018, but since 2019 started, I feel like it's like a reset button. You know,
For
like
everyone.
like just in terms of like artists and producers, it's like, all right, whose year is this about to be, you know, this year? So it's very interesting. But shout out to all the producers and everyone working out there. Speaking of that, I want to quickly shout out all of the producers and artists and creatives that I've been meeting in these past few months in my Pass the Aux tour. Atlas is on tour too.
how are those
Right, we're on
going
the
for you
road.
guys?
Really, really amazing, man.
Amazing.
I will be in, if you're listening to this, the week of, the third week of March, then it'll be next week. But next week, I will be in Texas for my Pass the Aux tour. I'm going to be going to San Antonio, Dallas, and Austin. Super hyped about that. So every month, I'm going to different cities, and I'm meeting up with like 30 upcoming music creators in those cities and renting out the studio. So there's a bunch of video content on my YouTube channel, Illmind Vision, and I have a bunch of content and videos on my Instagram. So if you're a producer listening to this and you want to link up, come to the studio, pull up, play some music, build with your peers, come to my Pass the Aux event, solidify your slot on illmindproducer.com right now. They're selling out pretty quick. Berlin is sold out, and that's all the way in May. London has 2 back-to-back dates that's almost sold out. Night number 1 in Atlanta is sold out, but we have a second night in Atlanta that we still have slots for. So again, producers, go to illmindproducer.com if you want to join me. Atlas, you've been on the road with Cruz too. How's that going?
Yeah, dude, it's been great. Just got back. We did Miami. We did LA. We did Philly. Young Guru pulled up.
Amazing.
Which was like,
Shout out to the legend.
when he walked in the room, you should have seen the looks on these kids' faces. It was amazing. Shout out to Young Guru.
Did they know he was coming?
Nobody knew.
It was like a
We
whoa.
kept it. I mean, I knew, but
Yeah.
it was like super low key. We didn't really tell anybody
Yeah.
for that reason. So shout out to Young Guru, came up in Miami. We did it at We the Best Studios. Shout out to DJ Khaled for letting us use the spot. Emix pulled up.
Amazing.
Then we did it in New York at Engine Room. Shout out to Avian for
Word.
blessing us
That
with the
was
space
dope.
for that.
Oh, yeah.
Illmind pulled up.
Yeah, you know, a
Yo,
little pull up.
Illmind. Oh man, Illmind. Thank you. Thank
It
you.
was a pleasure to be there. It was
Yeah.
an honor to be there. It's so cool. I love the way you guys are formatting that. Like, let me ask you a question. So, you've been to, you did Miami, New York, all these different markets. Are you noticing like a difference in producers, like depending on market?
100%.
Yeah. So, what are
100%.
some things you've been noticing, like, just in terms? Because I know you guys mostly
think-
analyze mixes, right?
Yeah, it's more mixing, but a lot of them like to play their tracks. Whether it's artists they're working with, or a lot of them are rappers themselves. There was this one girl, Marseille is her name. She was like a female Russ. She was playing. She did everything.
Wow.
So shout out to her. Slate. Blessing us with a Slate mics for the kids, Sound Toys, and Puma got some gear for
Sick.
some of the kids, which is awesome. So shout out to all of them.
Nice. Shoes or clothes?
Both.
Wow.
Both, yeah.
Shout out to Puma.
dope.
Yeah, dude. So the way it works is I send them the size. of the shoes, you know, the shorts and the shirt, and they just bust them with the jacket. I was
Sick.
like, damn, I want, yo, let me see.
Yeah,
I'm
where's
about
mine?
to send you my sizes just
Right.
to
That's
say
what I'm
I
saying.
won. Shit.
That's what I'm
But Ill, Dan, thank you so much for pulling through on the New York one. It was legendary. We had Evan LeRae, who engineered all Cardi's album, Grammy winning.
Nice.
We had A Boogie engineer Moe's,
Yep.
who A Boogie just had the #1 album. So that was awesome. And then of course
Awesome.
Mr. fucking Illmind pulled up, which was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, so also we're doing I don't know if you guys spoke about it on the last episode, but we're doing another beat battle with Nick Paps,
Sick.
Papa
When?
Mitru.
April, right?
The first one, I mean, Josh knows.
Shout
it was
to
a,
Jay
Josh
Jules
won.
for
Jay
winning.
Jules.
And let me say something
Yeah.
before you people. So obviously, you guys know Jay Jules produces music as well. He sings, he raps, he does everything.
Opera.
This guy, he crochets, he
graphic artwork.
he does
He does
graphic art,
taxes.
he does
He does
taxes.
taxes.
He's
a real estate agent.
Real estate
He's-
agent.
yeah,
that's
listen,
correct.
if you lose your chain, he's like Jay Prince. He'll go get your chain back. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll do it all.
Yo, for real. For real.
And he does kung fu. I'm pretty sure.
Kung fu, yes.
But anyway, Jay Jules won the beat battle.
he won. He
The
won
Big
the
Pass
first
beat battle.
one.
And I know people
his
are
hoodie
wondering.
says it,
They
hard
were
work,
wondering,
forever
oh,
pays.
this is Atlas the Plug event, and Jay Jules is
Of
like
course, he
part
won.
of the crew.
And that's right.
But here's the thing: you guys don't know if you weren't there. The entire thing was crowd judged.
Correct.
It was judged entirely by crowds. There were
Correct.
producers there that brought droves of people,
Yes.
and they were at an advantage.
I
you know?
think Josh only brought his one person with him.
One person.
Yeah.
One person.
That was it.
So
He
did
took
you,
it.
did
and
you
I-
press a button, just go?
And I was being fair. I wanted, if I didn't like Josh's beat, I was,
Word.
Hell yeah.
Right. Yeah. Mouth
Stick
sealed.
to the camera, bro.
you know what I'm
Just
saying?
Stick to the camera.
And that
so he earned it.
he definitely did. And
That must feel good.
yeah, and that's what the different thing. Like when I do events and when I put together these battles, whether it's True Masters or the Dream Chaser stuff, like I don't want it to be up to. I want it to be the crowd. You know why I like to do that, guys? Because like the crowd's is a consumer.
Yep.
They're the ones that are going to control what they're buying and what. Not me. I might love Josh's stuff. Would I have wanted him to win? Sure, but I had zero to do with it, which is awesome.
Yep.
And let me tell you, it was close. Came down to some overtime rounds. Like it was really intense. And the cool thing is because Josh won, him and Nick are collabing. I've already put them in contact, and they've been
Amazing.
talking. And Josh, we were talking in the green room backstage. Josh also got, I don't want to say from which camp, but a pretty well-known rap camp team was there, and now Josh is collabing with their artist. I wish I could say it, but we'll let it when it comes out. We'll say it. But
Yeah.
that anyway,
He'll tell us.
that goes to show you what we always talk about, guys, is like for the listeners or producers or rappers who are, you have to go to these events and you have to like participate in these events, or at least just show up and network in the crowd, and you just never know like who's going to be there and what type of opportunities will come from it.
Exactly. And we bring up Jay Jules a lot on this show, but I think a big reason why we bring him up too, as opposed to being a good guy, he smells a little bit, but he's a good guy.
Yeah, a little bit.
He's on the grind.
Totally.
And he's taking advantage of all these different opportunities for a producer, like the beat battle. Like he goes to every I Standard thing.
Yep,
He's
yep.
obviously he works the camera at my Pass the Aux event,
Yep,
but in doing Pass the Aux, he's also networking with a lot of the producers that come to my Pass the Aux event, and it's just highly, highly advantageous. And I see his followers are going up.
Yep. Even the video, like the content, like the video content and how he's putting. I see you, Josh. I see you like the way you're like people are seeing your face more.
Look
you
at
know
his
what I mean?
hoodie.
Which I like.
Josh isn't just joshing
hard work.
around.
Hard work pays, man.
Hard work forever pays. You know what? So I do this thing, like when I make music in the morning, I have my routine. I'll like go grab a smoothie and I'll drive, and that's when I like to listen to music. But lately I've been listening to like podcasts, and last week I was watching these YouTube videos on this guy. It's crazy. I forgot his name. I'm terrible for forgetting his name, but he's the guy who wrote what's it called? Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's like a book from like the early 2000s, and it's like a New York Times bestseller. One of the highest selling books in history, whatever. And it's really interesting his like philosophy, what he talks about. About like having a rich mentality and a poor mentality and what the difference is. So like, for example, a poor mentality is immediately saying that I can't, So it's like I can't. It's like being programmed to think, oh, I can't, play basketball, or I can't go, skydiving, or I can't, And then the rich mentality is, how can I do that?
Right.
So when you're proposed a task or a question, you immediately go to this place of like, okay, I can do that. How can I do that? Let me figure it out. And I think that's just like so simple, but it's so powerful.
100%. I can even remember when, we were hired like interns. The interns till this day, and Josh is one of them, that became the most successful. I would consider Josh, he's on the verge to doing some really big things, were the ones that didn't ask a ton of questions.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, I need this, I need that, and I need that. And they would say, okay, cool. And then that was it. And they would go, whatever, use Google, YouTube, call the homie who might know, as opposed to like, and listen, they've been interns who would ask a lot of questions, like, oh, I don't really know. Like, well, I'm like,
yeah, and questions are fine. So,
yeah, but I don't know. I don't know how to do it is not an answer.
Yeah.
No.
Ever. I don't ever want to. I don't know who. I've never done that. Well, this is why you need to go figure it out.
Yeah, I think for me that's like one of my pet peeves.
Exactly.
Is like, don't ask me stupid questions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like
one
Exactly.
of one of my engineers did that this morning.
What did he ask you?
Like, we had a session on the calendar, and he's like, "Hey, what's up with this session? I know the client typically emails us like scripts to print out so the client can read it. It's voiceover." So I'm like, okay. So I email the guy like, "Hey, any scripts?" He sends it to me. So I'm like en route. Right, I'm not even looking at it. The guy emailed me. He's like, "Thanks, ABN attached, whatever." So I immediately forward it to my guy, and he's like texting me 100 times, and he's like, "Oh, there's nothing in the attachment." I'm like, can you email the guy and tell him there's nothing in the attachment?
Wow.
Like, you know what I mean? It's
Common
those
sense.
little things, and I'm just like, bro, like, I need you to think ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you didn't even have to text me for me to answer this. Like, I'm busy. Like, just take it.
I didn't need to know that.
You know what I mean? Like, just take it upon yourself and say, hey, such and such, you realize there's nothing in the attachment. Could you re-forward?
Yeah.
Like, bro.
Exactly.
That's an obvious.
It's just things like
solution.
that are like just time wasters. And it's frustrating because it's like, the time you could have spent telling me that, you could have just emailed him like, hey, we didn't receive it.
You waited for my response.
Exactly. And what I would say too is like, if you're let's say you're interning for someone, or you're like working for someone at a company or whatever it is, and you don't know like how to do something, or you can't figure it out, like obviously it's okay to ask questions, but you want to have that, like Atlas was just saying,
the way you ask.
The way you ask.
I
Exactly.
think it's the way you ask, and also just like having common sense to think, okay, what can I do about this right now?
Yeah.
Like, go down the line of, is there anything that I can do right now?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And if you are out of options, if you have absolutely no idea and there's no one around to help you, then sure. But it's like, that's what irks me. It's like, I need your help.
Yeah.
So you asking me things that you could have done is not helping.
Exactly. I think there's two different types of people in this world. There's people, and I don't think there's an in-between. And you guys, if you guys disagree, please tell me. I think there's two different types of people in the world. There's people that wait to be told what to do, and then there's people that just do shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You can be an intern or at a company, you could be the boss, or you could be the lowest on the totem pole. There's people on the lowest of the totem pole that do shit. And then there's people that are sitting there just like waiting.
I think that's how I've like become kind of like, more experienced.
Yeah.
That I'm very hands-on. I pay attention to detail everywhere I go. I'm extremely organized no matter where I'm at, whether it's in a music studio or in a clothing boutique.
That's why they didn't want to let you go.
Nobody ever wants to let me go.
I mean, because you're super valuable at Engine Room, and if you leave, no disrespect to Engine Room, but if you were to leave like today, like it would kind of be in shambles,
a drastic
right?
change. Yeah, basically.
Atlas, you were gonna say something. What were you gonna
Yeah, I was gonna say I totally agree with you. There's those two types of people, and I think it's possible, to start at the one who like asking the questions and starting there, and then becoming, from everything you've learned, becoming the other person who's like pulling the shots and coordinating everything, because you've done it for so long. It's like we always say, like, if you're going to be the boss at a company, you got to know how to do every single job.
Right.
Literally, from the top to the bottom. And once you know how to do that, Then you take all those skills, and then you start building a team of people that can do those for you. So while they're doing the day-to-day handling, then you have more time to now come up with other ideas and other concepts and be on making those big phone calls
I think
and
one
meetings
of the
or
things
whatever.
too is like not wanting to step over people's toes, and that I get is like, if you are new somewhere, you don't want to be the Mr. Know-It-All or Mrs. Know-It-All, or like, because sometimes I've seen that too, where it's like people try to take too much initiative, and it's like,
and then they dig up too big of a hole and they can't get out of it.
Let me add on to that. So, and obviously you've been managing one of the most legitimate studios in New York City, and this applies to you, Alice, too.
Sure,
on your insight. Mm-hmm. And I want to know what you guys would do too. If I was an intern and I applied to Engine Room as an intern, let's say we interviewed and you loved the interview and stuff and you want to hire me, how many hours per week would I typically be working as an intern at Engine Room if I was just hired? Like 10 hours a week?
It depends. If you get hired to be an on-call, which is usually the start, then typically it's like whenever someone needs
on-call
coverage, which can be like if you're covering someone's shift, that's maybe like 6 hours, 6-7 hours.
Got it.
If you get a shift, sometimes you can spend 12 to 15, 20 hours in the studio.
And what's like some of the top things that are like expected of an intern? Like what are they supposed to be doing?
Cleanliness, like always making sure
Cleaning
that obviously stuff. And it's not even just like wipe the toilet. It's like it's really like, hey, make sure the place is always presentable.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people walking in and out. Always make sure.
And I wouldn't be able to necessarily like touch the boards yet or anything.
I mean, not touch the board per se, but you will be able to touch gear. Like people would tell you to like set up, which is the benefit. Like it's like make sure the mics are where they need to be.
Right.
If such and such needs to set up a session, you have to go grab that gear. You have to set it up for them and things like that. You get to touch more of like the SSL console when you're like certified and like you know how to use how to
use it. Yeah. Okay, so now that I have that information, what I would do as an intern is I would literally, the first thing I would do is literally just clean everything. Like just like show people that I'm just always busy. Like even if I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, perfection hasn't given me anything to do. I don't really know what to do right now. No one's really talked to me about any of my tasks for today. I would immediately just like start like cleaning down.
And
kitchen.
I've had interns that are like, hey, do you need anything? And I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, and that's cool because it's like at least you're being attentive. Like I hate like I've had interns that they'll be there 6 months and still don't know how to answer the phones. They'll like be on their phone all day, feet up, and then I have to like repeat myself. And I don't really like repeating myself because I'm too busy to repeat myself. And I'm the type of person that in order for me to not repeat myself, I give you the information exact, very thorough, very clear, very thorough, in detail. And you know what I mean? So for me, it's like you're not paying attention or something, or you don't
That's
care.
a good point. Pay attention. That's what I would do too, is I would pay attention to patterns. Okay, this particular engineer in the C room likes their coffee from this place, whatever. They do this every morning. They roll up their cables in this certain type of way. And I'll just take mental notes and take initiative on like, because really I feel like as an intern, you want to be as helpful as possible without being annoying.
Yeah, because it's like I had one intern, for instance, like he heard me tell someone else, like, hey, answer the phone this way. Right? And he was in the room and I'm like, hey, answer the phone this way because that way it's, whatever. Like, there's certain ways to answer a phone, like in a business. You can't just say,
yo, what's good?
Oh, Avian,
what's popping?
No, you can't say like, oh, Avian John's on the phone. It's like, can you
place them on hold? Let me know. Screen the call
if I
first.
Want to talk to John.
Exactly.
So like he
That's
heard me
crazy.
telling someone that, like, hey, and then literally 10 minutes later he does the same thing. I'm like, we all just kind of had this conversation. So it's like little things like that where it's like it's either you're not paying attention or you're not paying attention. So
exactly,
it's always just being helpful, bringing things to the table, and like doing your best to kind of be in the moment, like know what's going on, know how certain people work, know what you can do.
Exactly.
It's interesting. I want to add to that because obviously all of us in here have different kind of roles in what we do and stuff like that. So I want listeners to know, like, so that's one type of intern position as a producer would be working at the studio.
Yeah.
And that's one type of internship. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I just got myself an intern who does something, they work with me on all the stuff, the crew stuff, everything we're doing, the beat battles, everything, lining up everything. And they're also a producer, but their duties are completely different.
Right.
Okay?
It's completely different from producing.
And I want to get into that because I want people to know there's different ways to be an intern and a producer without being in a studio, which is great. And I always think you should do that first because you're going to be with the artist and, face to face.
Yep.
But like my intern, who's also a producer, they set up the Eventbrite page.
Do research.
They'll set up the template of all the producers I have on the beat battle in an Excel spreadsheet. They'll manage the email address that I set up for whatever business it is. I'm like, look, this certain email address, you're going to be controlling that. So any emails come in about refunds, about any customers, I didn't get the this or that, you're going to be the person handling that.
Yep.
I have access to it too.
Right.
So I see everything. I see if they got back to them fast enough. If I always like to see, and my guy's on point.
Right.
He's like me, ill. I don't fuck around. I get it done. So now when I go to these events or I'm in these cities, guess who I'm bringing with me? I'm bringing him with me. So now he's building almost like Josh did.
Yeah.
He's
and
building
now he's in the room.
He's in the room, and now he's building these personal relationships with these people, just like Josh did.
And also, too, the people that are in those rooms, they see that he works with you.
Exactly.
So he's immediately
associated,
valuable,
exactly,
in a certain kind of capacity.
And I think
association is big.
It's huge. Yeah. It's huge, and I think. I want to make an awareness for these producers out there, and we all do. It's like, listen, there's different ways to intern. Yeah, you can get the coffee, you can do all that, but there's other ways too. If you have a more technical, administrative eye for things, you know what I mean? Then that's another way to get in because someone has to organize all this stuff.
There's so many
I feel
ways.
like the key word is initiative.
Initiative,
Yes.
yeah.
I think
With
that's
anything.
the key word. With everything.
Yeah.
And I also
Initiative.
think we were speaking on something. It might have been me and another person, but I think everybody talks about it in general and then they don't really, everybody just calls it different things. But association could also be the same thing as like social currency, like how we look at like how people barter. It's like sometimes it really helps more to know someone.
Yep.
Or, you can pay somebody, somewhere to post something for you or do that. But if you know somebody who's like, yo, I like what you're doing, so I'm gonna help you.
Yep.
That's better than money, like any day. It helps, money helps, but the relationships, when people are just doing it out of their heart, it's just different.
It's crazy how people think that in order to get rich or get money, it's the thing that they need to target is making money, but which is not where it is.
It's
the money is the last step.
It's literally the last step. It's all the things that you put in. So there's basically a vortex. And the way that you feel when you make money, that's the way you feel when you get money. You have to keep that feeling going. So when you're doing that, you're attracting things that bring you that because you're feeling that way already.
Yeah.
If you're irritated, guess what? Bullshit's gonna come.
Right.
Yeah.
The stuff that you don't like, the stuff that you see on the gram. Oh, I feel this way. Great. You're gonna see another bad bitch on Instagram with 1,000 likes that you don't like, based off of how you're feeling right now. But when you're trained to think like not even money, but just I want better. Like I have to get out of like, a lot of people will shoot themselves in the head if you don't do something for free. Yeah. Sometimes you got to do something for free, not like. To get played, but get free in the way. Like,
doing shit.
You got to do shit for free because
Literally.
it'll get you to that. It'll get you to there. Like, okay, I just did something at the Fillmore with Megan Thee Stallion, Sweetie, and light skinned Keisha. Now,
Love them.
I wasn't all too happy about my performance, but the venue, and because I wasn't gonna get paid originally because they just slapped me on. They paid me anyway, and then they said, you are like the best rapper that we've had at the venue.
That's great.
And if you see any artists coming through here that you feel like you can open up for, hit us up.
That's
Fire.
amazing.
And that was because I came in there like, fuck it, I'll come in, it's a good look. Like, I don't really care. It's for Women's Day. And
Yeah.
they gave me all of that. I walked away with all of that.
It's
better
great.
than money.
That's so amazing. Congrats
That's
on that.
awesome.
Yeah,
Every
chilling. I'm working.
and imagine
Facts.
doing that, 100 times over.
Showing up.
Just show up.
Show up is the hardest
'Cause I
part. Like
could've
we
been
always
like,
say, show up, show up, show up.
Right.
You're tired.
I literally could
this,
have looked at
just
that
go.
and been like, I don't know. I'm not like any of those girls, blah,
Yeah.
blah. I opened the show up.
That's
Crazy.
awesome.
And then they did
Something
they did
really
their thing.
powerful about what you just said,
That's so
and also, going back to the guy who wrote that book, and I was like, watching his YouTube videos and stuff, digging into his mind. You don't understand. This guy is worth like.
What's the name of the book again?
Rich Dad Poor Dad. The guy who wrote it, he's worth like $50 billion or something insane. And he was just saying, like, comparing the rich mindset, poor mindset, but then also the idea, and this is something that I've struggled with for a long time, and Alice, you know this about me, the idea of how powerful it is to ask. Asking, like the idea of asking. He's like, you can literally have anything you want in this world as long as you ask, and as long as you accept the reality that you're not going to get every single thing that you want when you ask, but by not asking for something, you are literally shutting it out from it being a reality.
100%.
It's like
That's
when
so
you
crazy.
ask something, whether you're asking God or the universe or a natural person or whatever it is you're asking, you're literally turning the on switch. That's like the on switch. Like you turn it on, but sometimes you turn it on and it never really pans out, but at least the switch is on. So it's like there's this certain type of shift in energy that happens, the beginning of a momentum when you ask for something. It's like,
I love that. You know what I love about that, Il? You know what I love about that's the vortex. You know what I love about that? That goes back to when you first start out saying yes to everything. Because you're just opening up possible opportunities. Like, like that artist, you might not love working with that artist. Like his music's like, it's good, but it's maybe not like your favorite thing. Just go do it. You know what I mean? Or like, because when at that session, you might meet their publicist.
Yeah. And it's free to do.
And it's free.
So free.
And you're going to build
That's
some
the silliest part. It's
relationships.
free as fuck.
Couple dollars for a train, but whatever. It's free.
And then you're going to just meet other people and like just saying yes, it's open. Eventually you start saying no, but in the beginning,
that comes
say
with
yes
time.
to everything.
Yeah, say yes to everything. And then sometimes you can't like obviously like Perfection knows, like if she gets an email or somebody hitting her up about something, she's going to be able to tell right away, like, as opposed to like a few years ago where it's like, I might have responded to this or I might have pulled up to this. I think that sometimes you still even gotta, every now and again, there's things like you might be like, oh, so and so, I don't really fuck with that person.
You know how many
You know how many times in the industry that happens? I don't really fuck with that person.
Yeah.
And not even like, oh, I don't fuck with them on a personal level, but just in this thing. And then like you gotta save face and you gotta decide, is it worth me to be in the building for this? But you have to
recently.
go. But sometimes you have to actually go in the fucking building.
yeah.
That happened to me
decide
recently.
if you're not supposed to
Wow.
be
I'm
there.
gonna tell y'all off camera though.
Well,
You don't-
off camera.
Ooh.
It's like
shit.
super
Wow, like
industry shit.
Super juicy.
I can't wait.
I like.
Super industry shit.
The industry shit
But
is
that's
crazy.
a fact.
I love-
You know how many times I had to like, I'm the type of person that's always like, oh man, but you gotta like sometimes
Yeah.
do it because you never know who's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Like, and that's happened to me a ton of times. A lot of things that I'm like not interested in doing, always like something always comes out of it. It's like, oh
Yeah.
shit, if I ended up not agreeing to that or connecting with that person or being at that place, this would have never happened. So
It's showing up.
Showing up, man.
It's
Showing up is-
Showing up
and
is
not being
is
stingy
the-
and like getting out of your own way.
You know why people don't show up? I think people don't show up because they have too much expectation. They're like, oh, if I go to that thing, then all of a
It's
sudden
gonna
they're
be
like,
like
well, if I
this.
go, then I'm, what I would want from that situation would be X, Y, and Z.
Right.
But I'm probably not going to get that, so I'm not going to go.
So I'm not. Yeah,
That's crazy.
I could see that. It's
It's
like
human
you're
nature.
already. But I was also, and I was saying that, like in the opposite, like on top of that, if you're not as pressed, you end up having a good time. I think that's in
No,
general.
that's true, yeah.
Like I've had so many things where I was like, I didn't put too much on not going. Like,
Yeah.
I used to, I really don't want to go to that. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's like, it wasn't
And the
like
next
that.
day you're like, I'm glad I went.
And then it's just like, you know
Yeah.
what? But then you might still have in your mind, I don't want to go, but like, I'm going to pull up anyway. And you still end up having a good time, or you might run into that person you were supposed to run into.
Yep.
You just never know. It's like always you almost got to look past that. Like you
Yeah.
have to look at it like anything can come from this. When I walk outside, if I go to this show, if I do this, if I talk to this person, if I ask that person that I wasn't sure if I was going to ask them, I'm going to ask them today just to see what the fuck happens. You have to do that.
And the cool thing is, by you doing that, whether you're building with those people or not, guess what? It's a small town. It's a small industry, right? They're going to keep seeing your face and eat these places and be like, who the fuck is that guy?
Yep.
Everywhere I go, I see this guy. He's at all this stuff. And then you start becoming a presence in your own town, in your own city. And that's how you got to start. You always got to start locally, build it up, and then build out. But you got to like be out there.
You have to
in order
be
for
out
that to happen. You have to.
You have to be
and
out
you gotta,
there.
and you can't be so sure on like I said, you can't expect it because that just happened to me last year. I had this song in my arsenal, like my own heat, and I was like, I'm saving this for me. Like, this is my shit. You know, it's gonna be one of them ones. And then I went to my manager set up this session with Black Caviar, and I did a house record with them, and I was like, all right, but I did they gave me a track, I recorded it, and they're like, that was really good. It was like, do you guys want to work? Do you want to work on anything else? And in my head, I was like, no.
Right.
And then I thought about it, and I was like, I could be selfish,
Right.
or I could just
go with
be
it.
collaborative,
Be present,
and do it. So I gave them the song. Apple put it on the ad.
See? Mm-hmm. You see?
You have to get out of your own way. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes you might want it, but it's not going to happen. It never happens how we want it. It never happens how we want it.
Yeah.
No.
So you could want it all day. Doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't
Yo,
matter.
it's a fun story. Father Dude.
He was on our podcast.
Yep, he was on the podcast.
Shout
Yep,
out
he's
to
the homie.
Father
He
Dude.
just, by the way, his last single and 2 singles he dropped have been
Big.
crazy.
Yeah.
Don't Let Me Run is one of them. Different Girls, the other one. Definitely check that out, Father Dude. But his like break happened like when he did like the whole Euro electronic thing, and he had like 2 songs on top 40 radio in Australia.
Yep.
I was at the session, and for the big record, right? I was there. I actually started the session in Pro Tools. I'm not like great in Pro Tools, but like I opened it up and was tracking him.
I see you playlisting.
Yeah, right. So anyway, we did the whole thing. We had it all set up, just like Glam was saying. We had it all set up how we wanted it. We wasn't, whatever. I don't want to put too much out there. So we send the record out. The producer changed things, did this, moved stuff here, affected the voice this way.
Right.
Just literally, it sounded like a whole different track.
Uh-huh.
Father Dude sends it to me. I call him, and I'm like, dude, I don't know, man,
Yeah, what
because like
happened?
this is not what we
It's
sent.
not what we heard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
it's not
know
what you're
like
hearing.
we sent it, but then, we spoke and we were like, but you know what? Let's just ride with it and let's just rock.
Yeah.
What do you know? Boom. That was the one that exploded.
It exploded.
Because you don't know what the single is.
And then me and him looked at each other like, dude, we don't know a fucking
That's what I'm
thing,
saying.
dude.
Yeah.
People don't
You
know
think you
shit.
know, but
We
you
don't
do not
shit.
know. You
Tony
don't know.
Braxton did not like Unbreak My Heart.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andre 3000 hated Hey Ya.
Yeah. I'll give you another.
These are facts.
I'll give you another one. Havana, Camila Cabello.
Yeah.
Oh, I know she hates that
played
fucking song.
she played that record for the executives,
though.
and I love that record,
Yeah, I
and
like that
they were
shit.
like, this is not a single, this is not a record, this is not a smash,
That's
like this
crazy,
can't be
though.
a single. And I guess she fought it and ended up being a single, and Havana was the most played song in 2018.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Wow, really?
Ellen DeGeneres was singing that shit.
Most played song in 2018, the
That
number
song
one
was
song in
fucking
2018.
huge.
Havana.
That's one song that played besides "Boot Up"
It's
that
still big.
I heard. That I
Still
was
big.
like, that when you hear it, you're like not annoyed by it.
Yeah.
Like it
Shout
still
to,
plays, and you're still like,
I would
Shout
think it
to
would
Frank
do-
Dukes,
nice.
Louis Bell, Andrew Watt, all the guys that contributed to that.
and
record.
Thugger was on it.
Congrats.
Like,
And
come on.
Doug.
Young
Doug got
Thug
it.
was on that shit. Like what?
Wow.
He got some points on that.
He got points. Come on, like, because not a lot of those artists are able to like.
That record's
you-
diamond.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You hear low key stuff. You hear like, oh, I think the first time we heard people like merging like that or seeing people, if I'm not counting like Walk This Way and Aerosmith,
Yeah.
was when Jay-Z did the Linkin Park thing. With,
Oh,
that's the first time we ever saw like
Yeah.
two worlds collide, and it worked.
Yeah.
Like it was awesome because I was already a Linkin Park fan.
Yeah.
So when
Right.
Jay-Z teamed up with them, I was like,
Oh
That was
my
his story.
God.
It worked.
That was
Awesome.
amazing.
It worked.
awesome.
What an album
It
too,
worked.
man.
Me and Perfection last week, we did a Q&A on my IG Live, and it was super fun.
Yeah.
I think I want to do it again.
Let's do it.
Let's do it again.
do it.
Guys,
Let's do
listen.
it.
So
Let's
I'm
do
on
it.
IG Live right now. listen, guys, I need
As long
you.
as we get to BLAPCHat.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're
BLAPChat. As
doing
long as we get
that.
to Blapper Crap.
I want you to add yourself to my live, and we're gonna get you live on my Instagram. You could be on my podcast. So, for you guys in here in the chat room, go ahead and request to be in my live video right now, and we're gonna pick one of you guys, and we're gonna do it like that. All right, so go ahead and do that right now.
Go ahead and do that.
I'm gonna pick the first.
Yo, Glam's energy today is like on 30,000.
Well, I've been in a cave and I just been making music. I came up with a crazy,
Who's trying to get in here?
Shit last night.
A beat or
Like
with vocals? It's a whole song?
No, a whole thing, a whole ass.
Yo, I just got FL Studio.
Oh.
All right. FL12. Oh, Perfection is on FL
I can't
Studio.
do it. I did it once, but I got to jump
went over
back
to the dark
into
side.
It. How do you like
I
it?
just got it yesterday.
Oh, we're live. We have a guest
Who's
here.
this?
Oh shit!
What's up,
Hey.
Benjamin? What's up, man? What's your name? Where are you from?
My name's Benjamin Jones. I'm from LA. I've actually did a consultation with Atlas before.
Hey, what's up,
West
man?
Coast.
Yep.
I
You
thought I
see
recognized you. What's up, Jay?
Benjamin. What's up, dude? Sorry, my
I'm
phone
good.
camera is very limited right now.
Right.
But we can hear you. So what's up, dude? Where are you from again?
LA, Los Angeles.
All right.
I was just at your Pastor Ox a couple weeks ago.
I remember,
Nice.
man. You brought that heat, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah,
Thank
that was
you.
a fun night. Tell for those
So
people that are
much.
tuned in, you came to my Pastor Ox in LA. What was your honest sort of assessment and experience of being there?
So I think you really kind of hit it on the head when you tell people ahead of time. I think it's less about kind of the interaction of like just going there to meet you or to try to learn per se like that. It's more about vibing with your peers and like the way you preach it, like building a community from the ground level, and then learning how to grow with your friends. I started working with 6 to 8 probably people from the Pastor Ox. Yeah.
Wow.
I've
So
already
you've
done a couple of
been
beats.
since coming to the event, you've been keeping in touch with like 6 to 8 people that came.
Yeah,
how's it going so
we're
far?
already collabing on projects, and it's already opened my mind to like you said when you started with Skyzoo, and everybody else in the beginning. Like you got to create the friendship. You got to build a rapport, and like what I'm saying. Like if I don't like you as a person, I don't really want to kind of do music, to be
Right.
honest.
I believe
So it's
in
gotta
that.
be
I
genuine.
can't work with. I mean, I think in some small instances, you might gotta bite the bullet for like just the political part of it. Like if you
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
dealing with somebody you don't like. But I'm a firm believer too. It's like if the energy is not right in general, it's not gonna work. Like don't
It's
do
not
it.
gonna
Like
work,
it's not
yeah.
gonna work. Yeah.
I only think
Benjamin,
it's worth biting the bullet too if you're learning from somebody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Put yourself in a position to
Because
humble
they might
yourself.
be a bitch, but at least you're you have it in your head like, damn, this person is better than me or knows more than me. So then it's
Yeah.
like you're able to put that in your mind. It's really how you guys think about it. It's like you could be like, damn, that person's like an asshole, but then on the flip side, you're like, I know I can learn from this asshole. So you got like
Yeah.
you have
Everybody's got some kind of
everybody has their shit.
Exactly. Benjamin,
like
do you have
Everybody said they love-
do you have a specific question at all?
True.
Yeah.
up?
To be honest, I started working with a lot of female singers. So I started a production company after listening to you guys. And I talked to Atlas on his consultation, and he
Nice.
kind of was like, just incorporate and then learn how to, create different points for people to, touch points, basically, for people to reach you with. And then so we started to discuss creating like a venue for artists to be able to showcase. So right now, basically, I started developing several female artists, a couple of guy friends that I work with,
Nice.
but like more to create like a safe space for females to be able to, nurture their talents and not get screwed over. And so like a lot of stuff that I learned from you and Lamont and, some, other industry people, like I try to pass on and like help them, develop their sound and then kind of put them in a position for them to be able to win and figure out what they want to do. Like, do you want to go to a label or stay independent, but at least give them
The
the
option.
knowledge to
And the
empower
option, yeah.
themselves. So I guess
love
like
that.
how would be the best
So
way
great.
to help nurture them and put them in a position to win and like get them more exposure.
You sound like you're already
I'm a
doing
really
it.
humble person. It's not about me. But like I'm like getting them to extra venues or like getting them on like platforms and stuff.
I mean, I feel like for me at least, and I want your insight on this too, honestly. But I think that over time you're gonna build more relationships with more quote unquote important people, but you're already kind of doing your service. Like, you know, I made this post on my Instagram this past week about like being valuable and giving and like getting into this habit. Yeah, getting into this habit of like giving service to people without expectation, and that doing that alone sort of just like automatically raises your value for certain people. And so I think in doing this, you're already doing what you want to do. You're already raising your value. You're becoming more valuable to more people.
Exactly.
By being a middleman, by putting these showcases together. You know, sure, you can't call Jay-Z. You don't know Jay-Z, and you don't have these big industry contacts, but that doesn't really matter right now. You know, like right now, you're building from the ground up, and you're proving your value to real people, and you can't put a price on that. Atlas, you had something?
Yeah, I mean, first off, shout out to Ben. You know, I met him on the, we did a consultation together.
Thank you.
And it was great. And I see him taking, you know, what we spoke about and executing it now, which is, to me, the best thing. You know, like we always say, we can give out all the information, but like only 5% of the people are going to use it. Right. Well, Benjamin's like the 5% of the people that are true. Shout out to Benjamin for that.
Thank you.
Okay, but yeah, I think what you're asking is like, what more can you do? I think you're doing enough right now, you know, by doing the events, and I know you want to put more artists on, but that'll happen organically by doing these events. The more you do, the more people you meet, the more eyes, you know, the more artists you're gonna find. So I wouldn't worry so much about like trying to put them on as far as like, you know, getting a label and doing this and signing them and doing management deals or production deals. I would just continue to build events and content for them via either events or maybe posts that you do. And listen, if you find artists that you really, really believe in, then listen, super easy. Make a DistroKid, create the name of the album, you know, put your name of your label on them, and put them out. I'm
already signed up with Lamont Graves.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Even better. Shout out to Lamont. But that's what I'm saying is then you can put them underneath your brand and keep building your brand in that way too. I think right now you're doing the right things and everything will happen organically. I don't think you have to go out and search for it. I think they're going to come find you.
True.
Would you have any specific advice as far as like building content for them? Because I'm like you guys, like I'm a studio rat. I'd rather just work on music, but I
look at content as just documentation.
Right.
So instead of like trying to make content, all you have to do is document what you're already doing.
Exactly.
So if you're in the studio, you know, 90% of the time, take your phone camera.
Gotta remember to turn the camera on.
just like turn the camera on and document. You know,
just find people that you know that have a camera and just because they might have some ideas.
Camera.
Yeah, so just set it up.
Set it up with a tripod. Maybe do a screen share. Just any, you know, all that stuff is valuable for people. Will want to see that kind of stuff. So bring them into your world a little bit.
And for your events, make sure you get a nice little sizzle recap reel, you know, for the first and second one. Right, so that you can start promoting your future events with this nice sizzle reel that you have. And then maybe if you really want to just get more content, if you have the camera, you have the studio, you have the events, I mean, interview the artist and be like, yo, like what brings you here? Like what, you know, if you really want to dig in and if you have the time to do that kind of stuff. I know right now you're only one person, but listen, if you have the camera and the studio and the venue.
Sleep is overrated.
Yeah, and you have the venue and the talent, I mean, document everything. Like Il said, get it all on camera, get it all and put it all on your YouTube page.
Yep.
It's less about promotional content and more about promoting the organic content that you have.
Yeah, but but that's what people like. That's what people want to see. They want to see the behind the scenes. I remember when I first started, even when I was singing in my R&B group, I didn't know what it was like to be on the road. I didn't know what it was like to be at radio stations. I didn't know what it was like to be in like big sessions. So what I would do, I'd go on YouTube and watch I don't know, I'm just throwing a name out there, like somebody on tour on a YouTube, and I would just watch the videos of them being on a tour bus and like, you know, and them meeting their manager and talking about rollout.
Right.
Like, oh, what's a rollout? Oh, okay, let me Google what rollout is. Oh, a rollout is not being on a tour bus and roll. No, you're like, there's a whole plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that stuff I just learned. So I think putting everything on YouTube, just build all your content, man. I think you're headed in the right direction.
Exactly. Yo, Benjamin, good luck with everything, man. You're doing all the right things. Seriously, like even just being one of the first people on the list to like join us on the live, like it just shows your ambition and your hunger, and it's just gonna keep going for you, man. It's gonna be fun to watch. So good luck with everything.
Word up.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys. Keep doing everything you guys do.
Thanks.
Thank
You
you.
already know,
Later.
Benjamin.
Appreciate you, brother.
Bless up.
All right, my dude.
What's up?
Peace.
I didn't think he heard that. Bless up.
Bless up. We got to give him the glam.
Congratulations.
We gotta,
I pledge
I
allegiance.
can't. I have to do
It's
mine.
like, no.
No, I have to do mine with two hands.
like-
No,
Bless up.
since you're doing that one, mine is this.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I just
oh my God.
just
That's
bless
a good
up.
one. I just signed off my
Yeah,
live, but
just,
Well, I like this. This is really mine, you know?
that one, this one will
Illmind
never
is,
go home.
It'll never go.
No, you don't know how to do it. You don't know. I gotta teach you. I gotta teach you. Mine is special.
Wait, I did it so wrong.
Nah, that's it. Close.
Yeah, mine is very weird. Guys, listen, we're gonna take questions from some fans here. So request to be in my live, and I'm gonna join you. I'm gonna join you in. First person I see. Hey.
Hey,
We have another guest here. What's up, man? What's your name? Where are you from?
hey, it's Mighty Healthy.
Mighty
Hey.
Healthy. Round of applause for Mighty Healthy.
There we go. You got a smile on his face. There we
Okay.
go. Now we're talking.
No more trollers in
No
here.
more trollers.
Yeah. Mighty Healthy. What's up, man? What do you do?
Oh yeah, I'm a producer. I sent you guys 2 beats. You blapped one and crapped another.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Hey, you got a blap.
Hey,
Holy
it's
cow.
hard to get a blap
It's
on
hard.
this
I
show.
think I
Kudos
do
to
remember
you.
that name. Was that like
I do remember
was
that name,
like
too.
2 weeks ago, maybe, or
It
something?
might
3
have
weeks
been.
ago.
It might have been. Mighty Healthy. Man, do you have a question or anything you want us to try to help you with?
Well, first thing, I'm in a new subscriber to the show, so I mean, I've been enjoying all the content. Been,
Thank
getting
you.
a lot out of
Appreciate
it. And I am going to the Paso Aux in Miami, so I'll be in that one.
It's
Nice.
gonna be lit. It's gonna be super lit.
Yeah. So my question for you is, because when you guys had crapped my last beat, I understand that it has to do with. I mean, one thing, like my mixes were kind of weird, and then my arrangement was kind of off. I think one of my problems is, since I'm kind of just making beats in a vacuum, I don't really have like artists to work with or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And my question for you is, how would you have found like your Skyzoo in 2019?
Finding an artist in 2019. I have an answer. I know Atlas has some great insight on that too.
Mm-hmm.
And want to start that off? How to find an artist in 2019?
Listen, I feel like a broken record, because I say it so much to everybody every day is you got to go to these events. You got to go to open mics. You got to go to showcases. You got to go to listening events. You got to go to Genius is having 2 Chainz there for a thing, and it's free to RSVP. You got to go to that. Like, find them on social media as well. You know what I mean? Like, shoot them a DM, reach out to them that way. Ask around. You'd be surprised. A lot of people, we were talking about asking earlier, and I'm sure you're an asker. Well, I don't know if that's a word, but ask around. Like, ask your homies, or put up a post, like, yo, tag a dope artist. And, and you'll get some hits hit here or there, but the idea is the more places you're trying to do things, you'll find that hopefully one somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But you got to go out and and listen. Everybody says this, and listen. Where I live, there's not really anything really going on in my town. Like bullshit. Then you create it. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the mentality you have to have as an up and coming, as an artist or a producer or whatever. Is you have to start again locally. Go all these events. Let them see your face. Let them know who you are. But trust me, things will happen.
Yeah. Also, too, I want to add on to that. There's so many artists out there right now. Like, there's so many singers, so many rappers. A lot of these singers and rappers are leasing beats. They're going to YouTube. They're going to BeatStars, and that's also a way to connect with people. But what I would do if I was literally actively looking for artists right now, literally the first place I would try would be SoundCloud. What I would do is, let's say I was trying to look for a female singer songwriter similar to Kehlani. So what I would do first is I would go to Kehlani's SoundCloud page, and I would look at all of the people that she follows, and I would look at all the people that follow her, and then I would literally just like click one by one. Okay, what does this person look like? Boom. And then if I find a female singer, I'll go ahead and listen to snippets of some of the stuff on their page. and I'll literally spend I would probably dedicate 30 minutes to 1 hour every day to just do that and look for people. And then after a week, let's say I find 2 different female artists that I think have potential, that I like their music, I would DM them on SoundCloud and say, hey, I have beats. I really like your singing. I'd love to collaborate with you for free. Can I send you a couple tracks? Maybe you can write to them and record to them, and let's see what happens. And I think chances are you're going to find, especially singers and songwriters, a lot of them need beats, and they're waiting for opportunities like that for producers to, shoot them the DM and become discovered. A lot of these people out here are trying to get discovered. And so as a producer, you can use that to your advantage. You have the leverage, you have the music, you're a producer, so they need your services. So I think it's just literally actively going out there and looking for these people. And a great way to do that is SoundCloud. Another great place is Instagram. Yep. There's artists on Instagram. There's so many. You can search, you can do the hashtag search on Instagram, literally hashtag songwriter, and you'll find literally millions.
Hashtags are key.
Hashtags are so key. So key.
They suck on like captions, but you can find a lot of good stuff on Instagram through that, just by all this hashtags.
So true.
Use those too.
Yeah.
And two, what I was telling somebody last week is like utilize like studios in your area. Like try to see who's tagging those studios, who's hashtagging those studios, to see who's actively at those places recording, and that can help you find like an artist, because that they're actively working, right? Because they're recording, and you might have access to them. They might be close enough to you, and you never know, you might find somebody fire that's in development. So there's just so many ways. I think it's just that the answer is there.
Right.
Especially utilizing the internet. Everything's online. Anything we need.
There's no reason to not know.
Find the most. This is what I would do. Find the most poppin' studio in your city, right, or within driving distance or whatever, and literally book 8 hours if you can afford it. Save up some bread. Book 8 hours every Friday or every Thursday or every Wednesday. Pick a day of the week and book 8 hours, and just do work out of a studio. And then from there, you want, while you're there, you're gonna have that opportunity to maybe run into some people, different artists, maybe working in another room, or building relationships with the people that own the studio, just being there all the time. If you become a consistent client booking studio time, they're really going to get to know you. They're going to start to value you, like, oh, this dude Mighty Healthy is in here every week. He's booking mad studio time. They might give you some free studio time eventually, or be like, yo, what's your deal? Like, we make beats? Like, let me hear some beats. So it really is just about maximum exposure, but you have to literally go out of your way to like plan this stuff. Like every Wednesday, I'm going to book a studio from 12 noon to 8 p.m. And then from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. every morning, I'm going to go on SoundCloud and look for artists, DM them. For every 10 artists I DM, maybe 2 or 3 might hit me back like, yo, yeah, I'm interested. Send me some beats. I checked out your page. I like your beats. Let's start working. And then now all of a sudden you're building with an artist on SoundCloud, and I've done that personally. I don't do it really anymore, but I've done it successfully, and I know there's people out there that are rocking like that. So it's just, I think that's a good starting point, and it's relatively free to do that. You just need to dedicate your time. So
awesome.
Yeah. Mighty Healthy. Appreciate you, man.
All right, thank you.
I'll see you in Miami.
Have a good one.
Yep.
Miami.
Yes, sir. All right, man.
Miami. I was like, what kind of meat is that?
That was fun.
All right.
Are we blapping and crapping now?
Yeah, let's do blap or crap.
Mighty Healthy. That like makes me say like pause. I'm not gonna lie.
Mighty Healthy.
Yeah.
It's like Mighty Healthy beats.
Mighty Healthy.
Mighty Healthy.
You better be going to
Mighty
the
Healthy
gym.
sounds like you take a
I do like that name.
sheep.
That is a cool name.
No, it's a cool name, but it sounds
Takes like a
beefy.
Sounds like a
It
sheep.
is.
Sounds like I'm gonna go take a shit.
Sounds
He got the beefy beats. Well, he got blapped. I want to see.
Healthy. That's what I'm saying. Healthy. Somebody told me too. Sometimes like They won't say big. It'll be like, oh, that's a healthy booty.
Exactly.
That's a healthy booty right there.
We'll start using that. All right,
How did
listen
her
up.
ass look?
Guys,
It was
it's
healthy.
Blap. Guess what time it is? It's
Blap
Blap
or
or crap time. Slap.
Blap-a-lambless.
All right, listen up. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go
Ew.
into our email,
Welcome.
and we are going to randomly choose your beat submission.
BLAPCHAT.
We're gonna play a snippet. If we like the beat, we're gonna give you a blap. If we
Blap.
don't, we're gonna give you a crap.
Give you crap.
And if you want to submit to this segment, all you have to do is shoot an email with your MP3 attachment.
Yeah.
Subject line blap or crap to info at
blappercrap.com.
no BLAPCHAT.
Info at blapchat.com.
One more time. Info.
at blapchat.com.
Say, in a world with three titties.
In a world where one track.
Atlas definitely sounds like a fucking
Do the
creep.
inner world
one
again.
minute. In a world where one track gets one crap or a blap.
You sound like a creep.
You need to seriously do voiceover work. Like,
I think
for
I
real.
might.
You really should have.
You're just like a creep.
Welcome.
Okay, our first submission is by J Tempo. Here we go.
Okay, J Tempo.
J
J Tempo by
His name, he put tempo on his name because he
Lucy.
be on the tempo.
It's hard, son.
Lucy.
Let's go.
Lucy. Let's go.
Lucy.
Let's see.
I hope this beat is as aggressive as y'all.
Hey.
He's probably like, shut the fuck up so you guys can hear my beats.
Here we go. I like the bounce.
Yeah, but that like the one. Cool.
Actually, I'm not crazy about
Yeah,
that
I'm not
change.
crazy about the change up.
Whoa, it's just a lot of changes.
Like 4 different joints.
Yeah. Four
This part is cooler though than the other part.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
What's going
It's like he did a medley of like
What's
6
going on?
records.
Oh, wait. I like this sample, or this loop. Let's see what happens. Ooh,
Oh,
what
he
happened?
puts it up.
Me and Glam gave that look.
I feel like if those were all like original, like he created the samples and he was just showing off like the different stuff he can do, then that was fire. But I really don't think that's what it was. I think it was him just trying to make
No, he
a
fit
crazy
in.
beat with all like different stuff on
See,
it.
He
I
heard
think
a lot
he
of
fit-
shit and he put it there.
I think he tried to fit in mad beats to try to get mad
Let's
submissions.
all
Yeah.
say it together.
He's like,
That
"Did
was
this
That was
A crap.
yeah, it was just way
It's
too much
a
going
crap.
on.
too much.
Yeah,
I would say J Tempo. Next time, just like send one beat.
his bounces weren't.
Damn.
You know, like there was sections in
no.
there.
Low-key
No.
shade.
That was like
Next
me
time
last
send one
week.
fucking beat.
No,
Stop
I'm
playing, bitch.
That was like me last week. Like,
Yo.
Oh my
the
God.
melodies, just change them.
Yeah, change them.
Change 'em,
No,
yeah.
this is what Perfection said. He was like, I like the track, just all the melodies, just like get rid of them and change
them, of course.
And then change the drums.
No,
like,
on a serious note, J Tempo, just send one beat without the
If
medley.
you know what, like if he had selected one of those 7 different tracks,
still sounds
those
shady.
like one or two of them were pretty fire. If he would have just kept
Yeah,
that kind of
that's what I'm
going and did a little something to it, that was all it needed.
The bounces weren't bad. He had
bounces-
bounces.
Especially in the
bounce
beginning.
was the bounce.
That's
Yeah,
especially
yeah,
in the
yeah,
beginning.
like the bounce. Yeah.
Our next
yeah.
submission is by Ponzu Music. Ponzu.
I like ponzu sauce, so don't be
you know
fucking
the
it up.
sauce you putting on this on the
You
table.
know what I'm saying? I like
Ponzu.
gyoza. You know what I'm saying?
Gyoza.
Spicy tuna tataki.
Let's
know
get
what
that
I'm saying?
General Tissot.
I love sushi. So good.
Here, gigs. How about that? Just a hot punch. I'm a bad man. Bad punch. I'm a bad man.
Build is already too long, bro.
Built too long. This built too long. This built too long.
Like this.
This is a beat battle.
This is straight beat battle.
Hard though, hard. Hey. I like it a lot.
This is like that shit. This is like Coachella.
That was fire.
Yeah,
This is fire.
That was fire.
Let's see what happens. I gotta see what happens.
Yeah, this
Build
is
up.
very festival.
He's doing that build up.
Straight
This is a light show for sure.
energy. See, you need context.
Yeah.
We
Building it up.
didn't have any context in the beginning.
Exactly. Oh boy, it's about to get real stupid in here.
I feel drunk.
I feel like I'm on Somali or something. Here we go. Little John,
That snare is crazy. Okay.
First of all, that is the hardest track I think we've ever had.
Yeah,
on
hardest
the
track
show.
we've ever had.
Ever on BLAPCHAT.
Hardest
Ponzu.
track we've
Ever had on BLAPCHAT.
Let me just say
That's
one
the
thing.
hardest track we ever had. Hands down.
Ponzu, that was the longest we've ever played a track to.
Wow.
That was like 2.5 minutes we played.
Wow, was
We
it?
just
It
played
felt like
2.5
fucking
minutes.
a blur.
2.5 minutes.
Took us on a ride.
Wow.
Ponzu music.
Wow.
I like Ponzu sauce, but I also
Wow.
like your music too.
Ponzu
Damn.
sauce.
I think that was of all
Holy cow.
97 episodes.
The
all the
hardest
thousands
beat
of
we've
Black
We
played.
had one. We
Yeah.
had one.
This is up there.
One in the tuck that I can't remember, but it was you liked him because you told him to send you more shit, and you
Yeah.
told him you gave him your email over the podcast. So it's him and
There's
this
a
guy.
couple we have.
There's
that
only
have
been a
been
few.
fired. There's
No.
a handful.
There's a
Yo,
few.
no, this is the
know
hardest
This one is
track
wild. This is
ever on
wild.
BLAPCHAT. This is the
we
hardest
need
track.
to do a beat battle for the 100th episode.
That would win a
Oh,
beat
yeah.
battle.
I
like
think the beat battle should be for the 100th
Let me
episode.
ask the
I'm
people.
sorry.
Let's ask the fans a question. The people listening. If we were to do a live BLAPCHAT show, would you want us to do 1 hour of Blapper Crap live on stage?
Damn,
with you
right
guys.
in front of you?
Bring your flash drive, and you come up and you plug the flash drive in.
I mean, I'll roast you
and you
in
stay
your
up
face.
there. And if we love it, you're gonna get all the props in the
True.
room.
Very
but if
true.
we hate it, you will get roasted, right?
Yeah,
will,
you gotta.
will-
You have
will
to
get
be
roasted too.
willing.
You will
so you
get
better walk
roasted
in there
too.
fully confident.
You're gonna get
Because in
that
person,
too.
I don't feel like I'm gonna be able to like.
So yeah.
Done.
Guys,
I'm not gonna be
if
like,
you want,
that was
if you
nice.
if you would come to our show, and if we did that
100th
let us know.
episode.
Let us know. Maybe
100th
we
episode
gotta
of
do it this
BLAPCHAT
summer.
Live.
beat
We got-
battle.
We're gonna do another BLAPCHAT live
Oh
this
my
summer.
God.
I
Live
think it
Blapper
should be a
Crap.
BLAPCHAT. And
Done.
I think it should be a Blapper Crap and a beat battle.
Yeah.
Along with actual
That's
like
hard.
Right. We
Yeah.
for the 100th episode.
So all the Blaps battle each other.
Ooh.
So maybe out of 20 people that come up, maybe there's 4 Blaps.
So they gotta
Or
have.
6
They have
Blaps,
to have
and then
like.
they battle
Yeah,
each
you
other.
gotta
First,
bring,
you have to
like-
come with at least 10 tracks.
You got to come 10 tracks on your
10
10
tracks
tracks
deep.
deep at least.
All right,
Because you got to take the crown.
Because there's gonna be rounds now.
We're
We'll figure it out. We have
We'll
a
figure it
venue.
out.
We have a venue. That's easy for us to do.
We're gonna
We can do
figure
that,
out.
No problem.
we're gonna
excited.
fine tune the formatting on this, but
Yeah,
I think
that's a
that's
no-
gonna be
that's a
super
no-brainer.
interesting.
I think we should also. Damn, I wish we can go through people we have blapped to like
we'll do that.
get them.
Oh,
yeah.
Ponzu got to be there. I want
Ponzu
this
sauce.
guy. I want this guy.
I hope
But he
he's
needs to bring me
tri-state.
some sushi.
Ponzu, you got to bring that sauce.
That beat was hard, man.
No sushi.
You got to bring
Yo,
that.
Bruh.
I need
Ill,
some sushi.
forward me that beat just
I will.
so I could listen to it
On the train.
on
I
the
will.
gym or something. That
Guys,
that was
I
hard.
guess that was a Blap.
That
It was a
That's
black.
100%
I know. We didn't even
black.
talk about it all left.
That's
One of the best ever. One of the best
100%.
ever. Ponzu, you killed that.
100%.
Hey,
shout out Ponzu.
Shout out to
Ponzu.
our subscribers. That is it. Episode 97.
What a way
Yeah.
to go out.
What a way to go out. I love ending off on that.
What a way to go out.
See how it just makes
What
your
a way
night?
to go out. Wow.
It just made my
I feel
night.
like Hulk Hogan.
Everybody's so excited
It
today.
just
What
made
did you
my
guys
night.
drink?
It's that beat.
Beat got me hype. Ponzu. Woo!
That's my new move.
Knocking
Check it
him
out.
out.
Yo, what's up, homie?
Hey.
Yo, what's good, bro?
Yo, look at me like, yo.
Yeah, bro.
What are these people doing? What are these people doing?
Just doing weird shit.
Yo, what's good?
Something in the coffee
Yeah,
today.
I feel you.
Oh,
I've always
man.
wanted to do that.
That was lit.
Yeah,
Hey.
boy. Anyway,
Like, what am I slapping? What does
Yo.
that mean?
shout to all of our subscribers. We
Word
love
up.
you guys so much. Make sure you follow us back, repost, follow us on all social media
follow
at
us back.
BLAPCHAT, BLAPCHAT. We fuck with you guys. Shout to all of our producers, singers, songwriters, rappers. You guys are the shit. Engineers. We're out of here. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.